Morning world, you know who it is, you know where we at, and you know what we doing. Excuse the look, I shaved my facial hair for Father's Day, so you gotta excuse me. It's going back though. Yep. Anyway, back in the garage here again, building a folding work table. Compliments of family handyman. Went to Lowe's yesterday, got all my pieces cut. There's little etchings on them so I can tell me what panel is which. And what I'm about to do now is, I guess you'd call it sub-assemble the frame. See if I have a picture of what it's supposed to look like. This is what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. So what I'll start with now is the base and the sides. And for that, I'm going to use my trusty, handy-dandy Craig jig. Shout out the boy. Happy Father 2012, much love. And I'm going to hit pocket holes in them so I don't have exposed screws, because I'm actually going to end up sanding and staining all my panels. So before I start any actual assembly, I need everything ready to be assembled, and I have to sand all my panels to be painted, let it dry, then I come back for final assembly. So here we are, morning one, day one of the DIY stand. I'll check back with y'all in a few minutes after I hit all these holes, and we'll go over the next part. Back part two, we have successfully drilled all of our pocket holes with our handy dandy Craig jig. Again, shout out the boy. Those of you who have never heard of a Craig jig or a pocket hole, it is pretty much just a jig that drills holes at angles so you don't have exposed screws. Let's take a look here. This is all my, I guess, centerpieces that who would have usually gotten screws and nails to attach to another piece. But with this, I'll just drill a pocket hole and it'll angle and connect to the attaching board, leaving the outside relatively unscathed. Again, all my pockets, so as you see here, measured off, all my pocket holes are drilled. Now we sand and stain the wood because it's easier to do before you do final assembly. So next step, I'll sand all these pieces to give it a nice smooth surface, and after I sand them, then I'll stain them and then polyurethane. But I'll polyurethane only the top, because that's all I really care about, the top, so I can run wood or I won't have, splinters or whatnot. So that's next on the agenda, stain and polyurethane. And again, please remember to sand first, so the stain will have something to adhere to. So that's where we are now. It's again, it's about 10 pieces, bottom, top, side, 3 middle piece section, 2 folding arms. So here we are, stage 2. Now we stain and polyurethane. Sand first. Check back in a second. Hello world, we're back in the garage. How's the dickens out here? See what we got here? Got our pieces lined up. They have been stained. This is minus the top, which could not be stained at the same time because we have to make modifications to the top. You see here, this is me taking the blueprints a step further. I've measured out my center point, and this hole is going to actually be cut out. And you'll see what I'm doing with that later. It's a little surprise, a little something on the end for you. So here we are now, my top pieces here and here, and they will have to be modified before I can sand them down to stain them. And actually the top coat is going to get a couple, the top of the workbench is going to get a couple coats of polyurethane as well. That's to kind of make it a little more sturdy, a little more rugged, as well as it has something to do with the ending, you'll see. But just a nice smooth surface on the top. So these are the pieces, all stained in urethane. Well, not polyurethane, these are all stained. And I use an aerosol stain. Wasn't bad. This is actually my very first time using stain altogether. So it is what it is. So here we are. And again, now about to cut dimensions here. And I'll just drill a hole with a regular cordless drill and probably just hit my router with a straight edge to get that, open that up. So here we are. We're back in the garage. Post staining, all my pieces have been stained and are drying. They all, if you look on the ground, as a method of my math, they all have labels in front of them as to what they are according to my master plan. Look here, you see two top pieces. These will be the left and the right, and in the middle will be the center section. Please note the hole in the top. Again, you will see what that's for in the reveal. It's kind of my grand finale, if you will. So all my pieces are stained. A few more pieces in the corner stained. Actually, if you look here at this odd piece, it's only, I want to say like 5/16, excuse me, not 5/16, like 3/16 wide. That's gonna be my edging piece, and I'm just gonna rip that, and it will be my edging piece to cover up all of my imperfections, such as this, and all my outside pieces, so there'll be no skin showing, if you will. So that piece is my edging piece, and again, it's stained the same color as everything else, so that'll be that piece. So I'll rip it 13, 14 times if I calculate correctly, and that will be my edging piece. So you just finish that with finishing nails, or we'll get that far when we get that far. This is the bottom. Again, on my very first table stand, look at it here. Sorry guys, you're finna be obsolete. And what we're gonna do now is pretty much start building. This is we'll build it from the ground up, and we'll go back and add the casters, some as wheels, to the bottom once we get the middle section complete. So let's start some construction. Again, per my instruction sheet, I know this is the piece that I will attach to the bottom. And again, we know this because, again, you still see my pocket holes that will attach. So let's get to building, and we will check you out shortly. We back in the garage. As you can see, the main body is fully assembled, minus the casters on the bottom, but I'm not quite ready for it to be mobile yet. Although I do have the locking casters, that can be the last thing I do. Look how bad, like, see, again, shelving. And again, like I said, the running board I was gonna have is gonna cover those strips. You could just stain them, but that's just another step I do. Again, stains all set in nice and pretty. This is the main assembly, a shelving area. You see a shelf. And it's kind of interesting to have an opening here. And my cordless drill sits in there with about maybe an inch of clearance. So that's one concept for this shelf, and there's a bottom shelf as well. So legs and leg support still sitting in the corner. It's probably the last thing I do. This is a good view of this is what it looked like from my eagle eye vision. This is from the top. This will be the middle section, which sits directly on top here. And these are the two folding legs. So in these two spaces you see here will be piano hinges. So they will open and close at will. So now we polyurethane the top to give it that. They put their candy paint on the top so it won't scratch and be a little more durable. And again, we will get to the hole. That's a little something I'm putting on the end. So we'll get to that. What's the hole for? And it's not for trash. So here we are now about to stain, well, excuse me, not stain, about to polyurethane the top, because we are about 80% complete. Again, at this point, all we have to do now is put the top piece here, connect it using my handy pocket hose via Craig Jig, via boy, shout out, and it'll tie it tight. And then from that point, we piano hinge it, put the legs on, and we'll call this project wrapped. And again, at the very end of this, you guys stick around, I'll show you what's the hole for. So that's where we are now. I'll check back in later. Back once again in the garage. Box complete. Polyurethane has sealed. Notice a little blue duct tape circles I put so I didn't get anything all curled up in my threads. You won't have to retap those holes. Again, you'll find out what that hole is for later. Paint job looking pretty doggone decent, if I may say so myself. 4 coats of polyurethane on all 3 top surfaces and 3 coats on the side. I didn't do the inside because I didn't think it was that important, because if it's closed, it's all you'll see. Got up to on blocks because I don't want it on the ground. I am about 82% complete. At this point, I just have to attach, well, I did install the piano hinges. If you see here, they'll open up. They'll open up on the insides, because that's where the middle is. So this is what it looked like essentially, minus the middle section, which is already attached to the table. So I'll split this up on the side, attach the piano hinges, the legs, and the casters, and we'll call this project a wrap. But it's getting later on the day on a Sunday, and I am starving, so we're gonna call it a day. Besides the amount of Gatorade, Citrus Cooler the best. So here we are again. We'll take a pause for the calls, and once, like I said, legs, there's no 4 legs, 2 on each side plus the support. I did put the pocket holes there, see here, for support on the leg. So here we are, another view. I guess this is a better angle, yeah. See, top, shelf, shelf, shelf. So we'll check back with y'all tomorrow when we finish up this project. Folding work table by yours truly.